What up, folks? Welcome back to Ultrazilla Toys, and today I have a review of the Evolution Toy Hero Action Figure Redman. Ready, fight! Alright, gang, jumping in the first of these Evolution Toys Hero Action Figure reviews based on a bunch of different tokusatsu heroes. Really exciting. We have Redman here, who was a Subaraya short. There was over 100 of these shorts that aired on a children's show. But boy, I've seen some of it. It's not really for children. Redman here, Redman is really violent. He's kind of scary. It's like, kaijus are stuck on Earth and he's chasing them, and he kind of kills them, wrecks them really bad. I don't know, they're legit terrified of this guy. So he's kind of like the tokusatsu, Jason or Michael Myers. In a way, he's that crazy horror movie killer. I'm serious. Check some of his stuff out on YouTube. He's scary. He's a scary dude. Let's take a look at some of the things he comes with. He has a bunch of hands. As you can see here, we have a bunch of different holding hands. There. And then you got some open hands right here, and some either karate chop hands, or you could use these to make believe you're shooting his white thunder beam or red thunder or whatever it's called. Yeah, but he doesn't come with a beam effect, so there's that. This is the red arrow, which is kind of nice. We'll take a look at that a little better in a second. And then he's got an extra pair of little ear thingies. These are the ones that actually came on him, and they're a little bit of a soft plastic. Compared to the ones he's got on, they're more of a hard plastic. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But yeah. Very odd. Soft plastic. Hard plastic, I don't know, but the soft plastic ones have kind of a seam line going on through it on the bottom. You could actually see it on the side there. There's an extra bit of plastic, whereas the actual ones on his ears do not have that. Look a lot better. So I'm not sure. I don't know if these were just just in case they get broken or whatever, or just give you an extra pair. But I really think the ones he has on are the ones meant to be on him. Like I said, I want to look at this a little more. It's like a silver deal. It's really cool. It's like a cross, and then it's got this red piece over here. It's usually small, and then this comes out, which is cool on this show. A lot of the villains, almost all the villains on the show, have been in Ultraman and other tokusatsu stuff. So it's very funny. They're really bad looking though. Like I said, they're deathly afraid of Redman. It's never really a fight from what I've seen. So pretty cool. You could put these in maybe one of these hands here. No, this one doesn't hold that so right. This is like a thumbs up almost. Don't know about that, but maybe this one here? Yeah, that one looks good. So he usually holds it like this, and he throws and impales his opponents. And the hands are done really nicely. Again, this is a very nice sculpt on them, so really like him. The last thing he comes with is the sword you see in his hand. Oop, took out the entire hand. That's fine. Let's give him a different hand. Oop. There we go. more open hand. And this is the red knife. Big knife. Again, it's pretty good. Silver, red, that little cross thing again. So yeah, it's scary. Scary. He is. I don't know, something about this guy. Look at him. Alright, he's kind of goofy, but it could be scary. So head sculpt is very nice, actually. I do dig it. Looks pretty cool. I like the eyes a lot. It's kind of like bug eyes. Very nice. Good texture on him too. Done in gold. That's pretty good. He is very religious looking, right? You get all those crosses, and now this headpiece kind of reminds me of like a cardinal's headpiece, you know, and in the Catholic religion, right? Like, I think so. Interesting. Yellow bit there. You got the little ear things, like I said. I like the mouth sculpt a lot. That looks good. His nose looks really cool, protruding, pointy. This is what the back looks like. You got a little bit of silver there, so that's painted nice. Pretty cool. I dig it. There is a seam line going down his chin, but I don't know if that's supposed to be part of the sculpt. I think so, yeah. And then, you know, you got the chest plate. There's a little bit of bubbling there, as you can see. That's not the biggest of deals. That's the back side. A little bit of a spine there. I like the belt texture. The sides here. This belt is really nice looking. I really dig it, you know. And then from that in the show, he can he shoot out like a slicing thing. So that's pretty cool. You can see the hand a little better. And his gloves look really cool, kind of like dual layered there. If you're noticing and looking at the joints as I'm looking at this guy, you can tell there's it's very similar to Ultra Act, and that's about the size of these guys too, which is interesting that they went this way. It makes you think that they've been developing this line for a bit. I know they did a Zone Fighter way back when. But, you know, I think this might be a little bit different from all I've seen, the way it's done. So, you know, that's fine. But going Ultra Act, I don't know. It's cool that they scale with those, but now that that line's defunct, I think I would have rather had them in, like, more of a figure art scale. But that's fine. It's not really that much of a gripe, because I still have some Ultra Act figures. Boots look good. I like the texture on his boots. They look really nice. You do get these big joints here. You know, like at the ankle. They're not even the same color. So, that could have been better. They could have painted those, I think. Painted them up a little bit. I mean, you can think of it as shading if you want, but it does stick out a little bit. And then the feet also have the rest of the boot has some nice folds in it. So looks wise, I think he looks pretty good. I did have a problem with this guy as we're about to get into articulation here, because, and as you can see here, this line here looks like articulation, and on the other figure in the line that I got, it is. And this is Fireman. And we'll look at him soon too. But here it is locked. It is glued with a very little bit of glue. So when I first got him, I turned that and popped that right off and got, you know, couldn't really get back on. Had to dab a little bit of glue there. Unfortunately, maybe I dabbed a little bit too much, or I didn't put it in quite right, but this is the only way it wanted to go in, and that line connects. So it does stick out a little bit. Yeah, I'd put just a drop of glue inside there, but I do get a little bit more gap on it than I did before. Is what it is. I didn't talk about these little shoulder pads, which are kind of cool. But that's the thing. I think they sacrificed that piece of articulation there to make sure the shoulder pad did not move. So there you go. I at first thought maybe the shoulder pad could have went upwards. It does not, you know. So, and to free that articulation, but nope, they glued it down and they sacrificed that bit of articulation. Not what I would have done, but it is what it is. But the rest of the articulation is pretty decent on this guy. So let's take a look. He's got a ball jointed head and neck for pretty good range of motion. In the center here, what is this? Did not notice that before. Well, now. That's a bit ugly. Looks like some glue residue. It does come off. Maybe some oil or some sort. But yeah, I'll have to get that off. So you got some goo there, but on the over the goo, you got some chest articulation, and then you got some waist articulation. Doesn't really go side to side much. It does go back and forth, so that's not so hot. But the top part is pretty good, even though he doesn't. Yeah, doesn't really go. That's a fault, guys, for sure. Can't really turn him too much either way. And looking down, back's a little okay. Then at the so that's not so hot. Looking at that hidden gem right there. Maybe I spilled coffee on this guy. I don't know. It looks like something else. But anywho, you got shoulder hinge up there. You do have a bit of a butterfly joint, but it's not perfect. And because you can't rotate it over here, it's kind of not so good. You can rotate it a little bit inside there, but it doesn't really work out so well, as you can see in there. So it's okay, but it's not perfect. You know? And I might be able to show you better on this side because now at least this part goes inside here very well. That's good. Gets nice and hidden. And it's really late here, guys, and my voice is going. What are you going to do? So there you go. This one actually works a little better. This one's a little tight, and it might, see, you can rotate this inside better. Can't rotate it as well on this side, mostly probably because I put that little bit of glue there, so it's probably sticking to that little joint there. That's got to be what it is. The more I do it, the more I feel like I'm going to stress that plastic inside. So let's not do that. Let's take a look at this. And again, that is a problem that, you know, unfortunately was my fault, but like, can you blame me? So you got a double jointed elbow, which looks like that. It's okay. You know, again, it's kind of ultra actish, and we will look at that a little bit. He does have a hinge here at the wrist with a swivel. This joint really reminds me like a Voltec or a Figma type of joint. Then the legs do drop down, as you can see inside there. It's got a nice little drop down feature, and you can rotate it, and you can get them about that far, kick out that far, go back that far. So you get some good range of motion in the thighs there. Pretty good. Double jointed knee works okay. No rotation there or anything. The boot does not rotate, but then you got a hinge here at the ankle, which rocks back and forth nicely. You get good rocking motion, swiveling, so it's pretty good. As you can see, this one joint feels like it's a little more split than this one. You know, doesn't feel like it's breaking or anything, but just to note it. Then you got a nice foot hinge, can go all the way up. So pretty good. You know, not perfect, but it's not bad either. It's not totally bad. You know, maybe, and you know, with like what figure arts can do now, it's a little dated, but it isn't super bad. You know, you don't expect every one of these figures to be exactly great. So here we go. Here is the comparison with an Ultra Act as Zero. You can see, I mean, Zero's just a bit taller than Redman here, but comparing him to Figure Arts Ultraman, he is way bigger. So, yeah, he definitely can scale perfectly with the Ultra Axe, I think, as he's just a bit smaller there, you know. Here he is with a NECA Godzilla and a Bandai Vinyl Godzilla. And then we got Voltec King Gainer and Eva 01 Robot Spirits. Devilman, that's a pretty good scale too. I do dig that. And last but not least, we will bring, that was not Devilman, that was a hand. Fireman, who I think fares a little better than Redman, and he's also taller. So that's pretty cool that they're not all the same height. I dig that. All right. So there you go. That's my review of Redman here. Not a bad figure. Some articulation issues. Again, if you get it, watch out for those bicep swivels that are not bicep swivels on this figure. Yeah, and if something like that does happen to you, make sure you keep turning this so you could free up that rotation a little bit. Because this one, yeah, this one works a lot better in those regards. But that's, again, my fault. But he comes with a whole bunch of hands, a couple of weapons. It would have been nice if he came with a beam effect. But otherwise, you do get a bunch of stuff here, and he is a tall figure, so it's not bad. They are priced a little high, in my opinion. But I'm guessing that's more due to Evolution Toy being a smaller company, you know, judging by some of their other figures. And, you know, having to charge a little more, you know. It is what it is. That's what happens. All right, so is it worth it? I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about it. I like it. It's worth it for me because I do dig these Tokusatsu heroes. And I want to support this line because I want to see where they could go with it. You know, there's a lot of really cool characters out there that I would like to see made. So we're getting some of them this year. You know, again, Zone Fighter comes out just a few days, and then you know, without hopefully any delays, and then you got the Jumborgs coming out in September, so excited about those too. That's a cool show. All right, so that's it. That's all I got for this review. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and until next time, peace out, peeps.